All right. Hey, everyone. So hopefully this is going better. I don't know what was going on with all the glitches so much on the YouTube, but let's see if it should be working correctly. This one was pretty straightforward to figure out. Um, let's see. Okay, right on. Thanks, Charmed One. Always dedicated in the chat. Shout out to Charmed One. Always leaving helpful comments on how to find everyone's channels. Appreciate you. Oh, hey, Shelby. Yeah, I don't mind, like, I can do like what Zach does, and we can have a couple other people on if anyone's interested. Like, say if you are, and then I can leave it. I can put my email in the comments in a minute. But all right, so I'm just gonna kind of rephrase in a summary of what I was trying to talk about in the last stream. But definitely not to like sound so repetitive with just with everyone's views and output or outtakes of what they gathered from the event in Oklahoma City. I mean, there definitely was a strong connection and a good vibe, positive vibes. I mean, just a nice like being in the presence of each other, even though we didn't really know each other. And but then it felt like we did in a certain way. It was just nice to put people's faces to their names on the YouTube and having, or if someone's on my Facebook or Twitter, I mean, it's nice to meet the real people in person. So that connection was really fun. So shout out to everybody that made it out to Oklahoma City. I mean, shared a lot of phone numbers amongst each other. I mean, definitely shoot something like a text message if you find something interesting, or if there's something you want to talk about, or a decode or something. I mean, the closer we talk and connect in that sense, it's all going to get stronger. And if we continue to go to other places, like how we're, planning out for 9/11 this year, I mean, I hope I make it. I'm going to do all I can to be there too. But I mean, yeah, just building relationships and continuing to build it. I mean, I think that's key. And, us just, being able to grow closer and like whenever we go out together in the public and want to talk about things. We already did. We already had a nice flow with everything, but I mean, it's just going to be more impactful just to see that we're putting out a message together, and we all share like a common interest on a common like outward, like how we're viewing everything that's going on in the world. I mean, and that's what I was saying in the last stream, was that it wasn't all gematria based. I mean, a lot of it, that's how we can tie it all together, and that's how we can prove it and stuff. That's how Zach does it every day. But I mean, just to see that we all like had an even common interest with people who didn't show up to Oklahoma City for that purpose with us, with the group that all planned to be there. I mean, some of these people were there actually for the memorial, or they were just, happened to be in the city at that time. And, people, I could tell, agreed with what we thought was going on in the world, and like our message to how we need to wake up as a people. And just because we all know that there's something not right in the background, right? Like, I think that's how we all kind of found each other, and that's how we've looked for the truth, and that's how we ended up here, finding out gematria effect news. And so, I mean, it was cool just to see how people were interested to know what we were there for. And because we weren't wearing our typical, like, where nobody's carrying any type of flags, like there's no Trump flags, no Biden flags. I mean, so nobody knew what we represented exactly, unless they actually cared to have a conversation with us. So I mean, and you can clearly see the people who wanted to talk, because they'd be standing by outside of the group, or listening in to what Zach was talking about. and then a few of us can just branch off and we just go see if they wanted to have a conversation and know what we were there for, and I didn't hear anybody say no. And so that was really cool. And shout out to, I think their name was Sage and Riley and another young gentleman that was with them. They were traveling through from Arkansas. I mean, they had a whole wild story and synchronicity on why they were here at that art festival that we ended up walking into in Oklahoma City. And the synchronicity with them was them knowing that there was more to numbers or numerology than what's put out there. I mean, because obviously nobody's learning about gematria in school and the meaning of numbers with numerology. I mean, so it was cool to see, people turn up and, immediately grasping what we were talking about because it was making sense to them. But there's all different types of, examples of just how good it was to see the message spreading, and I mean, too bad I didn't get to make it down to Dallas. I would have loved going down to Dallas, but I had prior engagements because that was actually, Oklahoma City isn't like far from my hometown. So I detoured off that way after the event and saw some family. But yeah, so cool. The stream must be going well. I see Angel Z and Charmed One, Itachi, Daria, shout out to Daria. She drove all the way from North Utah to be there. Let's see, a couple people. Disambiguation, Nathan. Hey. But yeah, I mean, I'll probably just make this stream like 30 minutes or so because I'm supposed to. Oh, she's home too. But anyways, yeah, it doesn't matter. So if anyone wants to jump on here, or if you want to call me, the people who have my phone number, but it might be easier if you just join the chat actually. So I'll just put my email in the chat here. But yeah, and then I didn't really have so much more to add to the, the decoding of the Oklahoma City event. But I wanted to point out that Patriots Day equates to 149, and this bombing took place on the day of Patriots Day, and they said 168 people died, including 19 children. So if you do the math, 168 subtract 19 is 149, like how Patriots Day equates to 149. And you think that, the Oklahoma City bombing ties with 9/11 and, the 9/11 having a lot to do with Skull and Bones with George W. Bush. Skull and Bones equates to 149. I mean, there's always more, like Zach says. I mean, the more you research and are actually interested in learning more, I mean, you're amazed with what you find, and especially when you apply the gematria, it's wild. But let's see. Yeah, and then like with the Alfred P. Mora building, with the 191, okay, so like the bombing in 95 actually took place 191 days to what would have been his upcoming birthday. In just like Oklahoma City 191, Society of Jesus 191. But one thing, just being able to walk around at the memorial grounds, and like Zach pointed out, how the Masonic temple was just on the other side of the building. Well, on the Masonic temple, there was like a little emblem on it, and I think I have a picture of it. I'll have to go through and check it out, but I'm sure you can look it up on Google. If you look at the building, there's a little part on there that just says The Heritage. And whenever you're at The Heritage, that also equates to 191, like Oklahoma City, and just the ties here. But let's see. Yeah. All right, I haven't gotten any emails yet, but it's all right if nobody wants to. It's probably just going to be a quicker stream. But if somebody who was at the event who hasn't had a chance to like really talk about it, like, or it doesn't have to be someone who was there, but I mean, it'd be cool like if Daria wanted to say something, or Angel Z, I see you too. And Zach, of course, he's there. I mean, a lot of input from different people would be cool. But yeah, for it to be an annual thing to do yearly, I think is a great idea, because I mean, I think it would just get bigger and bigger each year. Let's see. All right, well, another thing I wanted to cover, just for not being based in Oklahoma City, is today's date, right? And all right, I'm not sharing the correct screen. Let me get my screen up here real quick. Today's date being 5/3 or 3/5, and we know 53 is a big number with transgender, because transgender equates to 53. I want to show you some news that happened today. Let's see here. It would be this one. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see my screen here. All right, so it says U.S. lawmakers in 16 states to introduce laws to protect transgender youth. And so noticing that 16 right away, it makes sense with today being 5/3, because 53 is the 16th prime number. And again, we've seen that in many different, examples, especially going back to Caitlyn Jenner. I recall her, Caitlyn Jenner being, the transgender Bruce Jenner gender to Caitlyn Jenner. But he created a television series called I Am Kate. And I Am Kate, if you look it up, which I guess let me get it up here. Let me pull up a couple of blogs to help you guys understand like just how significant 53 is. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, I'll pull this one up. It's kind of a pain, you have to reshare a screen every time. All right. All right, let me get a different screen up. I think I'm doing this the hard way. This one. Okay, so you should see the screen. I did this blog not too long. I know Zach covered this too at the same time on March 5th. So the other date that looks like 3/5 instead of 5/3. Well, because the word gender equates to, man, I hate having to change this every time, but gender equates to 53 in English ordinal and 35 in full reduction. So both 53 and 35, right? So you had news of Leah Thomas back on March 5th, 35, making big headlines about being in the NCAA swimming championships for being a man to a woman, right? And this happens. I mean, there's just all this news stirred up at this time. And okay, maybe this wasn't on March. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I wrote my blog later, and I happened to do it on March 5th. But the news came on the 53rd day of the year about her just making headlines about being in the championship and the unfairness of it. Obviously, we know the reasons why. But I want to point out too, Pennsylvania, where she actually goes. She swims for the university in Pennsylvania. That's almost like a 4 out of 4 overlap with the word transgender. You have 152, 53, 172, and 64. And the 172s are interesting because that's the Jesuit motto, ad morium de gloriam 172. And even the word transvestite equals 172. And this is just a blog I had. But to get to the point, I guess I'm rambling, but how today they put out U.S. lawmakers in 16 states to introduce laws to protect transgender youth, right? Like that's the topic I was getting at. But So at 16, how I mentioned that Caitlyn Jenner had a television show that had there's 16 episodes in that whole series. She had 2 seasons, but there's only 16 episodes. Well, that just connects with the 53 with gender again, 53 and 35, because 53 is the 16th prime number. And something that I recently came across when I was looking this up was I've never cared, I guess I never thought about looking up who was the first trans woman. And just immediately just talking about how significant the number 53 is. I mean, it's this person, Christine Jorgensen, and this woman is known to be the first trans woman to have the well, okay, so I watched a documentary on her today. That way I kind of like a small little recap of her life because I had never heard of her. But she even said in her own words that she wasn't the first male to female sex reassignment surgery, but she's the first one to be recognized, is what she said. And so just knowing that and seeing her name, but look at her birthday and her death date. I mean, that's definitely what should stand out right away, is that it said that she was born on May 30th and she died on May 3rd. So a 5-3 and another 5-3. And even her birth date numerology, May 30th, 5 plus 30 plus 1 plus 9 plus 2 plus 6 equates to 53. I mean, it just seems like just dead proof of, this 53 number with transgender men or women, transgender people, right? Just transgender, the word. And so there's plenty of other things I had on where let me see if I can find this other blog I had, because I know this is a topic that a lot of people, they question and they kind of want to know more about. In regards to, I had someone comment on my video the other day, like if gematria tells when a person is a transgender. But it's not about that. It's what they're putting in the headlines on specific dates that stand out. It's not about like, oh, we're going to prove that this person is a transgender. It's nothing like that. That's hard to prove, and I know a lot of people like to gossip about that, but it's not really an interest of mine. Let's see. I'm going to share a different screen. And all right. Oh, hello? Yeah. Oh, cool. Hold on a second. Let me put you on speaker. Let's see here. All right. Let's see if we can hear. Daria just called you guys. All right. Go ahead, Daria.
Hi.
Hey.
I just called to say hi.
Yeah. How's it going?
Good. Just got off work.
Yeah.
I'm a little shy.
No, you're good. No, it was awesome that you showed up. It was good to put a face to you too, because your avatar is so different from what you look like. So it was unexpected. It was a nice surprise. But what would you say were your takeaways, I guess, from the event?
It was definitely probably one of the best experiences ever. Like the nicest group of, people, coming in from like different parts of the country, getting to know, new people that are part of the community. I had an absolute blast. It was an awesome time.
Yeah, I think same here. I didn't know what to expect, but it turned out it's like we all were friends, and we just all just kind of picked up and just conversated about anything. You know, it
Yeah.
didn't even have to be about anything what's in the news. It was just about like telling each other about who we were and getting to know each other. That was what was fun about it. And
I'll admit I was a little scared at first because like when we would see like when we saw like videos of like Zach getting kicked out of the memorial, and I thought maybe they were gonna like threaten us or something, or have the cops on us. I was a little scared at first, but then once everybody showed up, it was like, okay, there's more people here. It was
right.
I feel much safer, like much better, since like there was like a lot more people. But yeah, I have to say that was a little scary, too.
Right.
That Zach was being harassed by the security guards at the memorial. I was like, what if we all get arrested or something? Thank goodness it didn't. Nothing happened.
Exactly.
But,
yeah.
But yeah, it was. I would say probably I was a little starstruck when I first saw Zach. I was like, I'm seeing Zach in person. I was literally like mind blowing.
yeah, that was a little different. Like, but he's exactly who we know from his videos because he's so open and upfront and straightforward with his views on and what he stands for. So I mean, he was everything that I felt like I already kind of knew in a sense, but it was definitely nice to see him in person. And yeah.
But yeah, it was just just an awesome group of people. There was a lot of really nice people. The two angels had Chris, and he had Sean, like Richard Quinn, and all the gangs.
Yeah, shout out
Gozy,
to Richard Quinn.
Showed up with Shy Divine. The Hug and AR owners, RPM Vietnam.
Yep.
It's just it was really awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the best experiences ever, and I'm definitely looking forward to New York City.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, are you gonna make it? Are you gonna make it to 9/11?
Yeah, I actually got my time off approved from work, so I am good to go.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I guess I know I wouldn't have any problems getting the days off. It's just like the venture getting there. It'd be a long drive. I don't know how. I know it's for sure about. Well, I guess we can't talk too much like that because Zach drove like over 30 hours, and I think it is about 30 some hours from New Mexico, Illinois. But how long was it to Oklahoma City for you?
It was probably about 17 hours, but I actually made it in like almost 16.
Okay, nice.
Except for driving through Denver, that was probably the worst part of the whole trip because Denver is awful. I mean, those people they drive like crazy. There's so much traffic, people cut in front of you, and everybody's going really fast. That was probably the scariest part was driving through Denver. But once I made it past Denver, I drove through Kansas, which there was really it was really nice. It was just like flat land. You saw nothing but like hills and like farms. Then I decided to take a different route on my way back home. Instead of going through Denver, I went through Amarillo and Albuquerque.
Okay, yeah, that's the way I usually go. Yeah. That's
the way and I ended up in the southeastern part of Utah, which is like through Moab.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it was weird because when I was driving, when I got here to Utah, like on the southern through Moab, it was really hot. And once I got closer to Salt Lake, you could just see clouds, like it was like raining over there. So I'm like, what? I just left where it was really hot, and once I got closer to Salt Lake, all of a sudden nothing but clouds, and it started raining.
Weird weather. Yeah. Yeah, because we ended up spending time.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. We ended up spending time in Kansas for a few days after the event because that's where I was visiting family. But on our way back, we went back through Oklahoma City, Amarillo, Albuquerque, and then when we were going through Oklahoma City at the time, that's when weather was starting to pick up pretty good. Like we were alerted, we were going through like a tornado warning, and but it's Tornado Alley, it's what to expect. But it wasn't nothing severe. Like I grew up with that weather, but it was fun a little bit. But it cleared up. We were fine. So
yeah, it was an awesome experience. I would definitely do this again. I'm definitely looking forward to New York City.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be a much bigger turnaround.
Yeah, I hope so. To double or triple our size at least. I mean, we should be able to gather a lot of people in that area. And I mean, and that's the thing too. Oklahoma City, like it was pretty ghost town like for the most part. There's not a lot of people out and about. So New York City, I mean, our chances are better. I feel like there too to have bigger crowds and people walking around, frequently.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. I'm like, how come there's like no people
Yeah.
downtown Oklahoma City? I was like, I mean, even in Salt Lake, you see there's even when you go to like downtown Salt Lake, there's like a lot of people, but in Bricktown, it was like a little dead.
Right. Yeah.
She was like, where is everybody?
Yeah, that's how it felt. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know what that was about, but luckily there was that art festival that was going on downtown. Because I mean I think that really helped get some heads turning more than anything too.
Oh yeah, definitely. But
cool.
So, anyways, I just wanted to call and say hi.
All right, yeah. Thanks, Daria.
Say hi to everybody in the chat.
All right, cool. Well, now I'll have to program your number. I guess I didn't have it saved yet, but right on. Thanks for calling in.
All right, bye, Kayla.
All right, see ya. All right, cool. That was Daria. And let's see. Somebody's texting. Oh, okay. Angel Z says she's going to call in. So maybe she said she'll call in when she's almost. All right. So line is open, Angel Z. So yeah, she was out there. Another fellow New Mexican, 47th state. So yeah, I didn't even put that together, Zach. Daria, the little avatar of hers. And I never really watched it, but yeah, I get it now. Duh. But okay, so I guess until Angel calls in, what I was getting to, just because today's date is 5/3 and how we had the news of the transgender and everything, I mean, just the 5/3s that have been gathered is obviously the word gender 53, transgender 53, and it's interesting to see like words such as sexuality 53, chromosomes 53, hormones 53, and then here's the proof here to show that I Am Kate ran for 16 episodes, and again 53 is the 16th prime number. So I mean, it just seems clear to be. And Ellen Page came out as a transgender on December 1st, 2020. That had date numerology of 53. I mean, just more and more proof that 53 seems to be the number that they encode with the word transgender. And obviously that's when we get the transgender news. But anyways, I just wanted to throw that in there. And let's see. Let's go back to here. But yeah, or if someone else is okay. And in the meantime, actually, there's a couple channels that need to be promoted. Let me find it correctly. It's Lee from Tennessee, right? Lee Clarkson. He has a YouTube channel that he's trying to get started called Down the Rabbit Hole. What was it? Computer's slow. Down the Rabbit Hole with Tennessee Lee. So shout out to him. He was there. Oh, Angel Z is calling in now. What's up, Angel?
Hello. Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Just figuring out this live streaming world.
Yeah, I don't even know how to do it, so you're better than me. If it's too windy, let me know because I'm sitting outside.
Oh, you sound good.
Okay. So, yeah, OKC was awesome. It was nice to meet everybody.
Right.
I didn't expect that one. Hold on. Hey, go inside. Yeah, it was awesome. I enjoyed. It was nice to meet you in person.
Sure, yeah, of course.
Yeah, fellow New Mexicans. So.
Right.
Yeah, and it wasn't a bad drive, so that was one of my easiest drives.
Yeah, it should have been more like 8 hours for you, or what?
Yeah, it was like 7.5.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it says 8 hours, but I drove overnight, so no problem. Yeah,
so what, I guess just like same question as Daria, like I guess what was your overall like take from everything that we went through in Oklahoma City?
Well, like Daria said, I was nervous when I seen Zach's live stream. I'm like, oh Lord, that little kid can't go out there and get arrested. Like this is but I still was just like, no, I'm gonna go because I'm not gonna bring that negative energy there. So I went, but I was nervous, and I was nervous to meet everybody also because pretty antisocial. Like I really haven't mingled with people in a very long time. So
yeah,
that was a big step for me, I guess, because I don't really get around. I have to admit, I have a lot of trauma, so I don't really deal with people like that. So that was a good experience for me. Just being around a lot of people and like that we're not, that we're all like loving each other and being sweet and kind and helping each other out. That was like really a beautiful thing.
right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but I definitely was nervous. It's hard to meet a bunch of strangers you don't know. Like, I know we say we're not strangers, but it's definitely different when you meet somebody in person versus just talking to them on the internet and stuff. So that was, it was good. I'm excited for NYC. I've never been there. I'm going to do my best to make it. It is, like, a long drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't fly, so I'm going to have to drive either way if I do it by myself. But yeah, I'm a trooper. I drove to Seattle straight from Albuquerque. That was long. So,
yeah, that was over a year ago, wasn't it? Or
that was like last June.
Okay.
Yeah, my cousin got married in Seattle, so I was out there and I just asked Zach if we could meet because, support the work. I think he's pretty awesome, and it's better to meet. I just personally like to meet people in person. So
yeah,
it was awesome.
Definitely safer to know the person. But yeah,
yeah, for sure. But no, it was great. I mean, everybody who was there was just so loving and kind, and Zach was so nice to everybody. He was helpful and kind. It was beautiful. It was a really really nice experience.
Yeah, it was fun just like going out and having like our nights of pool and bowling. You know, that was
I love
just like hanging out.
bowl. I didn't bowl, and I don't bowl because I'm like it's not me. But I did like playing pool with everybody. I thought that was awesome. Like the big team game we played, and then I played a few people one-on-one. So I like that. That's my thing is pool and like cards and stuff. So I like that part of it. I just chilled when everybody was bowling. I'm like, I don't like the bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was nice that there was so many different personalities that you could do. Like, some people wanted to bowl, some people wanted to just drink and hang out, some people wanted to just, you know, it was nice. There was such a variety of people that, like, you were able to mingle with a bunch of different, you know, personalities and vibrations. It was just great.
Yeah.
And I also got a really good taste of, like, vegan food, because I'm never really, like, you know, had, like, that 420 cafe place. That place was really good. I never had food that was vegan that good, so that was awesome.
Good. Yeah, it's surprising to a lot of people how well and how tasty foods can be without meat in it. And that's why I feel like I'm so drawn to, like, Indian food, because, I mean, they're full of spice and just deliciousness, and it doesn't take...
I've never been a big meat person because, I don't know, I just didn't like the texture. But, you know, I was Hispanic culture. They're like, you need to finish everything on your plate. I'm like, okay. So it kind of, like, grew on me, I guess. But, I don't know, we eat more like, I grew up eating more like beans and rice, so.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, I've never really been big on meat. Like, it's like a once in a while type of thing.
Right. Yeah, same. I've been vegetarian for a while, so it's been like...
That's good, my cousin.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, I mean, I have my spurt, but I definitely was inspired to, you know, start making different types of foods, because, like, I don't know how to make that quinoa stuff, but it was so good.
Oh, yeah.
It was really awesome, so I definitely enjoyed myself. I appreciate, like, Zach, you know, calling it out and other channels promoting it, and I definitely feel like it can be bigger for 9/11. It's just, you know, I'm glad we did one close just in case, like, I can't make it, but we're gonna not put that in there.
Yeah, it was a good warm up. So hopefully, like, more people get, I guess a little more inspired or wanting to get out and pound a payment. And after seeing what we did and seeing that people will do it, you know, it's just, you just have to put the effort in it as well. And it can be, the bigger the better, and it'll be awesome if
I think we can get at least 1,000 people out there. I mean, there's ample time. Like, Ray was saying on his channel, like, there shouldn't be really any excuse, you know?
Right.
There's some things that happen that prevent you, but there really shouldn't be an excuse. Like, the only reason I wouldn't honestly come is if, like, I couldn't find somebody to keep my children, but that's, like, the worst case scenario, so we'll see what happens.
Right on. Yeah,
so thank you for letting me call in and give my opinion.
Sure, I appreciate that. Of course. I mean, it's what we're all supposed to be doing right now, you know, just sharing, and sharing's caring.
Yeah, it's good. And I'm glad, like, if you wouldn't have called me out, I wouldn't have called it.
I know, I kind of called Daria out too, so yeah, anybody can call in.
I know, I'm glad she called in. That was awesome.
I know.
I was like, okay, well, if Daria called, I have to call.
Right.
So I'm glad I did, though. It was great. I just get a little nervous, and I don't really like to be out there like that. But.
All good. I was like that too when I would first call into, like, Zach's sports decodes, but now it's just like, whatever. We all understand each other, and
right. And I think me, like, meeting people and just actually getting out there, like I said, after what I've been doing in my personal life, like, it really was a good experience for me. It was really hard for me to deal with a lot of people at first. Like, it makes me really nervous. And it's like I said, it's nothing against anybody. It's just what I've been through in my life. But I was really like nervous, but it definitely like made me have to own that, you know. And it was a good growing experience, also my personal self and my personal life. So altogether, like I'm blessed that I was able to go. I'm glad I made it by any means necessary, and
Right.
it was great. So yeah.
Yeah, like this first round, I mean, it was, I think, hard and scary for a lot of us, but now we know, like, next time it's just gonna be, we're not even gonna be paranoid about that, really. We're just gonna, it's just really gonna
great.
flow.
Like,
and
we're gonna be just excited to see each other again and meet new faces.
Yeah, it'll only get better. So
I agree.
Cool.
Well, thank you for your time, and I hope you have a lovely evening, and thank you for your videos. They're great. So.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Angel. Cool.
Have a lovely night.
All right. You too. See ya.
Okay.
Right on. I got 2 callers in one of my first live streams, so I think I did well. But I probably won't go on that much longer. But I mean, this one seems like it's definitely taking a lot better than YouTube. So maybe I'll just start using StreamYard more. But if anyone wants to say anything before we get out of here. Yeah, I guess it was all females tonight. Let's see. But no, like just you hear it from the people that were there in Oklahoma City, and just how it was nice to come together with a good message, just trying to get people more awakened to thinking and using their head and actually thinking about what's going on in these events and what way we're being led without, us stopping and like taking a stand or, but I mean, yeah. Cool. Hey, Chigozi. Chigozi and I finally met too, like on the last night. That was cool. Had a couple drinks together. Yeah. Chigozi and Shai Divine. Cool. All right, yeah, just nice. Well, anyways, I think I will leave it there. And yeah, so hopefully I'll get better and more comfortable at doing this too. Kayla, is gematria needed for the ultimate change in your opinion, or just overall knowledge of what's going on? Needed. Well, I mean, like again, I feel like gematria is just the backup proof of showing exactly what's going on, and that's important. I mean, yeah, I think it. Well, I mean, again, like how we had just conversations with people about what's going on in the world without gematria, that makes sense too. But it's just when you apply it. But I mean, that's the part I don't understand. But it's different when you, I guess, meet people in person and are explaining gematria to them. I think they're kind of grasping it better, and you're making more sense to them rather than it seems like over a video on YouTube, because we'll get like random comments like, what is this? This is dumb, or, like conspiracy theorists. I mean, but in person, I felt like that was a difference. Just seeing like their looks on their face and then asking the questions that, make sense that you would ask too, probably. I mean, they're wanting to know more, and I think it's more impactful to be talking to them in person. But I know that is a tough question, Itachi, but I mean, I think it helps just take it further in explaining on what's going on rather than just, I don't know, it's tough. But I mean, I guess it depends on the topic too. But clearly with like the Oklahoma City bombing and everything, and how it was a huge 201 ritual, 201, and I mean, that was one thing I was explaining to a few people that stopped at the art festival, and I was explaining all the 201s verbally without showing them, but they were grasping it because, you know, you explain how the ciphers work, the alphabetical order reverse with the numerology, you know, it makes more sense, I feel like. And plus I think when you're talking to them in person too about that, like your whole demeanor and everything, I mean, as long as you're not sounding all crazy like a weirdo, right? Like if you're, you know, your overall, I think how you present it too is important, because I mean, clearly if they know that you look like you're well put together or whatever, then they can't really just deny you right away and call you a conspiracy theorist and walk away, right? But yeah, right on. Well, yeah, I mean, for sure, subscribe to Down the Rabbit Hole with Tennessee Lee. He was a lot of fun to talk with, especially that last night. I feel like I mingled with him more when we were bowling and stuff. And shout out to Chris. Chris is like a pool. He's like, we played pool, I think one of the first nights we were all together, and he was a shark at that. And then he turned out to be really good in bowling too. So shout out to Chris. And yeah, got to see a lot of people. You know, Frank, it was good to meet Frank in person. I have him on my Facebook, and, you know, just sharing stories about what led us to know the significance of gematria, and, you know, what is it that really was compelling to you that you just knew that was the moment, right? And I think for a lot of us though, it was with sports, and like, you know, my story on sports with that, I think. But yeah, it was just cool to hear everyone's stories and what it was that took them, and, you know, and yeah, it was really cool. And shout out to all the Seans. I think we had like 3 Seans there, you know. And I think I said it on my YouTube video. I don't know if I said it on this one, but if I did already. But when I think about Steve and Erica, shout out to Steve and Erica. Their YouTube channel is Truth in Justice, or number 4, letter U. Truth in Justice for You. They did a really nice collage video of their experience in Oklahoma City, and, you know, gathered a lot of pictures and insight. Let's see. What am I trying to type here? Let me pull up their channel. But, oh yeah, and you know what I didn't even talk about that I did want to talk about was, let's see. Sorry, I can't do 2 things at once. All right, here we go. Let me put this on the screen so everybody can make sure they subscribe to. Here you go. Truth and Justice for You. Like, they're already at almost 300 subscribers. Good to see that. But I mean, yeah, they had a nice 40-minute kind of like documentary type collage video of different pictures of, you know, their whole time getting to spend down there. That was real cool to watch. But yeah, what I was going to say when I think about those 2, when seeing them, was whenever we went to the Catholic church to check it out. And, you know, that's when we were noticing like the Jesuit stained glass windows and just different interesting windows that they had up there. But then here you can hear them coming because they're just like bumping to like old school hip hop. And, you know, it was just hilarious because then because they're just right there on the street of where the church is. And this is Easter Sunday, you know, there's still people in service. And Yeah, and then like Steve gets out of the car and he's just like leaning against the car, and the music's just jamming. I wish I had a video of that at that time, because that was worth catching, but it's right here. I'll remember that. That's pretty funny. But all right. But no, what I was gonna say, hold on, let's see. Give me a second. All right. Well, actually, I think I better get off of here because it's already 8 o'clock and I haven't done like anything I wanted to do yet, because I didn't think I'd have a hassle on YouTube. But all right. Well, thanks for calling in, Angel Z and Daria. That was fun. But hey, yeah, right, The Matrix. It was good to meet him in Oklahoma City. Make sure you're subscribed to his channel. Real genuine guy. Good conversation with him. All right. But yeah, I'm just about to sign off. I'll have to just get on StreamYard from now on, because it seems like it's taken a lot better with, I don't know what it was, my computer or weather or just YouTube. But all right, thanks for tuning in, you guys. All right, see ya.